Alright, hello everyone. To be doing some work on my game template, because Dev or Die is going to be happening. Oh. To be doing some work on my game template, because Dev or Die is going to be happening. Okay, I have stopped the echo. Hopefully it didn't actually play on stream. I don't think it would have. Oh, I guess it is pointing to Firefox right now. Okay, I can turn that off as well, because that doesn't need to be on. But yeah, I'll be doing some work on my game template to prep for Dev or Die, because that'll be happening on the weekend. And I want to finish up some more aspects of my template going into that. There's one issue, which is I don't have my game template on this computer. So I'm going to have to move things over to this computer, and I'm going to have to create the framework for a component I've been wanting to make, which is my leaderboard system. Because that also needs to be made. To that, I could just do an Express backend. Unless I also want to let people see their scores in site. I just don't need to. Yeah, I'll probably just do an API. I guess I could do that first. Basically what I want to do is I want to create a new Express site. That Express site is going to have API routes to let people interact. Well, not let people, but to let myself hook into that. And then store and retrieve leaderboard scores. Yeah, so to do that, I'm going to have to do some sort of differentiation between games on the site. And I'm also going to have to prevent people from putting fake scores on the leaderboard. Which I don't know how I'm going to do. I guess I could... Well, basic thing would be encrypting the message. And then also maybe having some sort of passcode. That would be pretty easily findable, though. But yeah, I'll figure out some sort of way to make it better to protect. And then... Okay, so to do that, I'm going to hide my screen for a sec. And then set up the environment. So if I go to Git here and I go to Makedir scores, and then go into that in VS Code, and then show the monitor again. There we go. So basically in here, I'm going to want to open up terminal, initialize this, some basic info to start, no license, main will be main.js, I'm going to install Express. I think I just call it Express for the package name. I can double check that. I think I have browser in this monitor. Yeah. Express.js npm. Yeah, it's just Express. Okay. And then I need to set up some routes for Express. So to do that, const express or import Express from Express, and then const app equals Express. And I'm going to want to listen on the port number, which I can just define in a variable. So const port equals 3014. app.listen 3014, and then callback will be an arrow function, and now we'll just do console.log server active on port, change that to a template string, and then have it print out the port number. So now if I start the main function, instead of directly starting it, I'm going to do start here and do node main.js, and here npm run start. I'm going to use the import statement outside of a module because I need to set this to be type module. And I run it, and I can start up the server on port 3014. Next thing to do would be to add in actual routes to here. Before that though, I'm going to set up the database. To do that, I'm going to create a compose file, compose.yml. In here, I want to do services, Postgres, image, Postgres 17 Alpine. So this is basically going to let me create a Docker image of a database, so I could have a basic database to hook up to. I'm going to copy what I did. Oh, I don't have it open. I can navigate to it real quick. Yeah, it's in Adagon dev. Cat compose. Oh, do I not have a compose file in here? Oh, right, because I have one for the Jam website, which isn't this. Is the Jam folder, Jam jar. Actually, no, it was Jam core. Cat compose. Does it not exist? Oh, it's Docker compose. And I have some data I can copy in, password, random string. I might as well just throw numbers in there. Nobody else is going to be able to interact with this at all, because it's just never going to touch the internet. It's only going to be my local machine, so I don't care if I'm going to show the password here. I could rotate out later anyways, but I don't really need to. 5441 for the port. User will be I'll call it scorer, and then the database will be scores. And now I'll just throw in some extra characters just in case. So I can go over here, Docker compose upd, which will start up the database. The system cannot find the file specified. What? Wait, why can't it start to Docker? It's worked before. I don't know why Docker's not working. It's because this isn't an administrator instance. Hey Bernard. Do I have to start up a administrator instance of terminal? And then if I go to cd documents, cd git, so I go to git, I go to scores, and then in here, Docker compose up -d. It still doesn't work. Okay, is it because Docker's not running right now? I'm gonna hide my monitor real quick. And then boot up Docker desktop. Okay. I opened up Docker. Show monitor again. If I start it, it works. Okay. So it's because I didn't actually run Docker. That would cause it. Normally when I am on Linux machines, I don't have to manually start it. It just does it on boot, but makes sense. So now we have a database. I'm going to use Prisma for this. Prisma docs. Is it gonna show me the package name? Because that's all I want. Prisma npm. Okay, it's just Prisma. Makes sense. npm my Prisma. And now I want to npx prisma init, I believe was the command. Okay, so we have a Prisma file here, schema. I can start to find the database. So for the scores, I'm going to want... Actually, I guess it depends on what I want to store. So I'm going to want to store things in a way that I can actually store it. Without going too deep into storing personal data. So I need to avoid storing most things and only store names. Question is, do I want to differentiate by user? I guess I have to. Okay, worst case, I'm probably going to have a screen before a game boots up saying if people want to accept letting their names be stored. And if so, I can unlock the leaderboard functionality for them, and that would let me store names and stuff. Yeah, I think that's fine. Just because names can be considered personal information. And then have some way for them to delete information relating to a name. Which I'm going to have to verify somehow. But I can't really verify without storing an email for that. I guess if I see that they use the username, then I can just delete scores relating to it. I assume nobody's going to try to do it, but that seems like a pretty easy way to do it. So over here in model, I can do model user. Model user, user is going to have a name, which will be a string. It'll have an ID, which is going to be an int. This is going to be at ID at auto increment. How did I do it for Jamcore? CD Prisma, cat schema. Okay, I set the default to auto increment. That makes sense. And it's int with a capital. This is the name of the user with the ID of the user. I guess I could just let anybody store things under any name. That could be abused, but nobody's going to actually abuse it for jam games. I probably want to reuse this for my commercial game, though. It'll be fine. Oh, but then there might be collisions if multiple people want the same username. That would cause issues. I'll do it like this for now. If I need to resolve collisions in the future, I can add that in as an extension to what I already have. I'll do the base features. So model user, model score. This will also have an ID. Then model game. Don't I have a separate table for games? I guess I kind of have to. How would I initialize it? I could just have myself call an API saying initialize this game before I publish the game. Or I could initialize it when I send a score, but then invalid scores would mess with it. I'll just store it. So ID game. I don't need to do anything other than ID, unless I want to make it easier for people to actually query for it. Or to make myself query for it. There's going to be different things I have to store. And that's going to be either int or string. That's what I store. Either an array of ints or an array of strings. Stores. I guess I'll call this scores. Int array. I actually can't really do a completely different, or I guess how am I going to do this? So every game is going to have, so let's say game number 1 has 2 properties I want to store for the leaderboard. A speedrun time and a score. So every user is going to have those 2 that's submitted. A user might have more. So when there's a score, it has a game assigned to the score, it has a user assigned to the score, and it has the actual values of the score. So in score, I need to do user is going to be a user. User is going to have scores, so be an array of scores. Just going to throw an error. Hey, prodigal. I'm going to want to do new section relations. Congrats on the first. This is going to have a relation with fields user ID int hermit slime. Even add an additional field for game mode. True. Yeah, that could be nice. For a bigger catch, but it didn't work. Yeah, it normally doesn't work like that when people try. The legendaries are smarter. They only appear when you least expect it. If I do a game mode, how am I gonna do that? I guess I could have another model with a game mode. It's a cheat code. I see. So score, we have the ID of the score, we have the user assigned to the score. I need the game assigned to the score. Game ID. Game ID will be an int. Just need the right combo of emotes, true. Eventually one will work. A routing game failed model score, the relation field game on model score is missing an appropriate relation field to the model game. Oh, yeah. Scores score. What would game mode model store then? The ID of the game mode, the game it's assigned to, and the scores for the game mode. So we'd have to move that out of game. Adam Boy's gone Devin? True. Yeah, I'm working on some preparation for Dev or Die. I'm trying to get my leaderboard system up before it starts. Model game mode. So copy this. This will have game modes as an array of game mode. And this will have a relation for the game. A score will not be assigned to a game, it will be assigned to a game mode. You get my joke? Oh wait, that's what was in relation to what Adam is doing. With the double use of gone? Is that what you're referring to? Or this would be game mode ID. Game mode's another built-in. Oh, because I capitalized this. I'm not going to capitalize it. Added is gone Devin. True. Yeah. Yeah, you can do with a bunch of puns with the word gone. It's great. Okay, I think this is good. I don't think I would need any other models, except maybe some more fields in user. There's no way to validate if somebody actually is who they say they are, but that's fine. I'm not going to really get that unless I connect to Steam's leaderboard, because any way to try to verify it would just make people not submit scores. I guess every model needs an updated at and created at time so that it can handle that properly. Create at, updated at, create at, updated at. I need to tab these to be the same level. Tab that up. Why does it take one whole day to flip and calculate the rankings in LD? Yeah, well, it technically the calculation is automatic. The logic with the time, I think, was more setting up the top 20, which I guess is also kind of automatic, and also verifying that there's no cheating going on. Hey, there's a mythic. Congrats on the mimic. You keep getting mimics, don't you? I really need to code in the actual mythic behaviors at some point, because currently they don't actually do their proper behaviors. Could be done by monitors if there's any of them. True. Okay. So I have the user. The user has an ID. They have a name. They have the scores for that user, and then created and updated that. A game has the ID of the game and the game modes. The game modes have a list of scores. I'm gonna do cheat threshold, which is a score. And then if any of the parts of the score surpass the cheat threshold, it marks the user as a cheater. Hey, welcome in. So that way I can keep the leaderboard somewhat clean from people just spamming extremely high scores. The issue with that is I have to figure out what is a viable maximum score for people to get. Anti-cheat stuff? Yeah, I'm just working on a leaderboard system right now. Just to get that up and be able to connect to that for my game template. So I'm just working on the database models right now, figuring out what I want to add in. I don't think I want anything else other than this. Oh, this is ambiguous. Right, so I want to do a relation name. Please provide relation names for that. Well, the issue is it won't always be a score. So how am I going to do that? There has to be some way I can structure this to make this actually function. We have the array of scores for the game mode, and then the score for the cheat threshold. What if I... So that to be an array of integers. For the score model itself, I'm going to want the actual score being stored. Or then the game mode to define what is going to be that. Okay, so I'm going to remove this for a sec. Actually, I'll comment it out. I think what I want is I want to define a dictionary with the names of the properties in the score and then the expected value for them. And then the scores themselves is going to store an array of integers. Well, not array, a dictionary of key value pairs going into that. How do I do a dictionary in here? I guess I would do another table if I want to do a dictionary. So if I do data, I do ID here, or I'll call this point. So each score is going to have multiple points. It has the created at and updated at value. It has a value. And then it has an entry it's assigned to. For that, I would want another model. This would be model stat. This will also have an ID, create at and update at. Instead of value, it will have slug. And then every game mode is going to have multiple stats. Every point is going to be assigned to a stat. So if I do here points, assigned to an array of points. I guess I'm gonna have to do this format down here. Stat ID. In stat. Oh, this is point array. Error validating field stat and model point. Why is it missing an opposite relation field? Oh, on model user. Right, because I said this was user. There we go. So game mode has stats. A stat is assigned to a game mode. So I need to do the format here. Or I could reuse stat types over multiple games. I think I'll just remake them. Okay, so the game mode has stats. The game mode has scores. Every score has points. And every point is assigned to a stat. And it needs enough to match up to the stats for the game mode. So in score, I need to do points is a point array. Then in points, I need to assign this to a score. Score ID. Okay. So now we've set up all the connections. Hopefully it should be fine. If not, I can just tweak the tables later. Now for here, how to do the cheat threshold. Every stat has a slug string value. I guess I could directly put it into the stat. So cheat threshold. And this would be an int. And I also need whether it's an incrementing or a decrementing stat. So I guess that will default to incrementing. The opposite of incrementing is decrementing, right? Opposite of incrementing? Yeah, decrementing. I will call it incrementing. This would be a boolean. Default will be true. And then I can do another one for unsigned. I guess I don't really need to say whether it's unsigned or not. Yeah. But this should be good. So next up, I'm going to want to do npx prisma dev. I think it's -- name and then the name of the migration, but I'm going to double check that. Oh, it's migrate dev. Okay, and then -- name. Create tables. And that will create the migration and then create all the tables and automatically apply them to my database. Cannot reach database server at localhost 5432. Why did it not work? Oh, did I not set the environment variable? That would do it. So we need to do this. and also 5441 for the port. And now I'm gonna do the migration. There we go. Migration's been created. And the database has been updated with the tables. Okay. So for this, what are the endpoints I want? I want an endpoint for submitting a score, an endpoint for getting scores. I'm going to want to do a routes folder. V1. Score. Scores. I don't need an endpoint for individual users because there's not going to be a point when an individual user is created, only when it's along with a submitted score and doesn't exist already. I'm going to want an endpoint for creating a game though. But I believe that's it. Oh, I guess creating a game mode. Yeah, Dev or Die is happening again in October this time. And I'm going to be participating again. Hopefully you're actually winning this time. Prisma? What's wrong with Prisma? Prisma's fine. I think that's all the routes I want. If by fine you mean bad, what's better than Prisma? Name a better alternative. Just use the database? Fair, but also that's annoying. I used to do that. Prisma is easier to actually spin up something quickly. Especially with Postgres. With SQLite, it's also easy. But I'm dealing with Postgres stuff. I find it easier to just use Prisma. Just use a pen and paper? True. Okay, what did I do for the other site? If I cat main.ts here. Okay, so I did this. And then I need to import v1 from that. I guess I should probably swap this to TypeScript, shouldn't I? Yeah. I can set that up. Okay, so I want to do npx tsc init. Switch to TypeScript before bad cop what face for that too? Yeah. Did it always keep this confirmation, or am I doing the wrong command? TypeScript docs. So it is npx tsc dash dash init. Okay, I guess it has always been like that. Fine. Okay. npm install TypeScript. Save dev. And now do that. Target. Use next. Module. Node next. What's the error? Because fun. Oh, I need inputs. Do I need to do inputs? Cat tsconfig. Yeah, I don't think I did inputs before. Oh, one thing I forgot to do is add in a certain tag on my stream. I had to do Coco Halloween. There we go. Fix my tags. Okay, so we have TypeScript. I need to do main.ts. I need to get the types for Express. npxtc. Can I find module that? That's because I didn't actually declare the file yet. v1.ts. I can copy what I did for the other project. So cd into routes, cd into v1, cat v1.ts, copy everything, paste it, I can comment this out for now. And npx, oh, that is the wrong thing. npxtc. There we go. Why is this still giving me an issue? It's right there, isn't it? Routes, v1, v1.js. Okay, it's working now. And now I can theoretically npm run start, and the server starts. Over here, I need to do a copy of this, score.ts, go to router, copy that into everything here. I'll just do an empty string for now. GameMode.ts, game.ts, import all these. Instead of post, this would be score, scores, game mode, and game. Can't find module scores.js. I'm assuming that's because of a cache issue. Oh no, it's still doing that. Okay, maybe it'll go away if I compile. I want to get score, I want to get scores. Game mode. And then game. I can get rid of the index because I don't need that. Compile. Okay, so it still didn't work here. So I'll do scores, score. Oh, I called it score.ts. This should be scores.ts. There we go. Over in package.json, I'll do npx tsc and end that. So if I do npm run start, it's going to compile, and then it's going to make it active. There you go. So now we have the routes for the 4 paths here. I need to do a post handler. Function rec res tried some of your games in itch.io just now. Liked Big Crunch a lot. Nice, thanks. Yeah, Big Crunch is great. I guess we already pushed out the post gem for that. For things like Floodworks, though, I want to get that post gem out soon. I'm not sure when I'm going to have time for that, though. Yeah, the main tool I want to update recently is going to be Floodworks and Window Creatures. I still have to do that after I make the fixes for my main site, though. I started work on that, but I haven't finished it yet. So in score, do I want to be able to get individual scores? I guess, why not? I might add in maybe a Discord bot where you can get your high score for a certain game. And then I would need that functionality. I guess I don't need it now, though. I guess I could do it just for testing. Yeah, why not? Okay. For scores, I'm going to take in an ID of a game mode and then get all the scores relating to that game mode. Alright, it's really cool. Where can I find Volcara? Does Volcara have things I can point to? Just a sec. Volcara.itch.io. Oh, I guess not. But Volcara is on the Discord for my jam team. I can link to that. What's the command? Arboreal Discord? Oh yeah, there it is. But everyone in my team is on that Discord. Some of them might be offline right now, though. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. So yeah, I want to get an ID of a game mode and then return all the scores associated with that. In order to do that, I need some test data. To get test data, I have to boot up Heidi. Why can I not search for Heidi? There we go. New. This would be scores. These would be scorer. It'd be 5441. Password would be the password I set. Database would be scores. And then now I should be able to connect to the database, hopefully. It's been very slow. But theoretically, once I get in, I would be able to add in some example data that I could then query for. What game do I want to add a leaderboard for? Reading initial communication packet system error 0. What? Oh. I have it set to MySQL. I don't want that. I want Postgres. So it does not exist. Okay, that's because I didn't actually run this from the correct spot. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm gonna have to... Oh, I can't unpin it. I can just run it from here, though. And then it... Oh, it's set to jammer. Okay, I'll have to fix that. Twitch is going to try to run an ad break now, though. So we're going to go on a tiny bit of stretch break. And then I'll be back once that's over. I guess what's happening, I can reset up my stretch break scene. Because it is not a thing right now. Due to me switching computers. But yeah, we run 3 minutes of ads every hour to disable pre-rolls so that people who come into the stream to say hi aren't hit by a wall of ads, because that's what Twitch forces onto you if you don't run 3 minutes every hour. We'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm not going to make progress, so no content will be missed. But I'll just be taking a break, because sitting in a chair for long periods of time is not very healthy. So I just get up and move around. I also recommend other people moving around. Oh, and the break started. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, as we're done. Did the music system just break? It just completely crashed. Okay. I don't know why switching scenes in OBS did that, but it apparently did. Let's go for this one. Okay, so there's two things I want to do. I want to create example data in the Postgres database, and I want to set up an easy way to do HTTP requests to test things out. So something like Postman. The issue with Postman is it's Postman, and it has way too many features for what I want, and it costs money. Well, I guess it doesn't really cost money if I use the free model, but ideally I would use something open source. First of all, I'll deal with the database stuff. So over here, I can do a new game. And then I want a game mode. This is going to be assigned to game 1. Then it's going to have a stat. This is going to be score. I guess points. I guess I'll just do score. Cheat threshold will be 200. Incrementing will be true. Oh, did I just not insert it? Okay, slug score. Cheat threshold 200. Incrementing true. Game mode ID is 1. Then there's going to be a user. This user is going to have the name Adagon. Then there's going to be a score. This is going to be for the user Adagon, and the game mode ID 1. And that score is going to have a point value 50 for stat 3 score 1. Okay. And then now I have an example thing in every database. I guess I could test out having more than one score for a user. So theoretically, I can do a second score for user 1, game mode 1. And then it will have a point value 80 for score and for score ID 2. And then I'll do a second user to test. This would be Brainoid. I'll do capital letters. Brainoid. I'll assign these. This should be Adagon. Brainoid is going to have a new score. This would be assigned to Brainoid. This would be game mode 1. the point on here is going to be 114. And then I'll do a third user. This would be dummy. Dummy is going to have a score. And his score is going to be that. So that's way over the cheat threshold. So theoretically it would be marked as cheating and not show the score in the actual result. I could do some other games to test with. I guess this is fine for now. Okay. So now I want to figure out an easy way to do HTTP calls. I'm going to want to do this for this project and for other projects. So one way to do that is Postman. Just say call this API on localhost with these values. I could just do it manually, like terminal or something, or with my browser. But it gets annoying for post requests and stuff, especially in Windows. The issue with Postman, it's not open source. I found this, it's also not open source. I guess, is it open source? Oh, it's under Apache license. Wait, then why is there pricing? Open source cross-platform API client. Okay. Can we download from this website? So it's open source, but it's not free? That seems like a questionable decision. Yeah, I don't see a Docker image or anything. Okay. I'm gonna look up open source alternative to Postman. What is Hopscotch? Open source API development ecosystem. Open source alternative to Postman, Insomnia. That's a lot of stars. Oh, I see a Docker Compose file. That's already better. Self-hosting documentation. If I go to the site. Okay, they're not shoving pricing down my throat. That is a good sign. Community edition. You manage updates and maintenance yourself. It's fine. Prerequisites. Docker, 4 CPU cores with 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's fine. It needs Node. That is fine. Should I host it on my local machine or on my server? I guess I don't really need to put it on my server. I could test it out on my local machine, I guess. Comes easy support for easy integrations with third-party SMTP providers. You need emails so you can invite your team to use Hopscotch. Why would you need emails for that? Why can't I just create them accounts? Postgres database. Okay. So I need to set up a Postgres database in a container and then put it connected up to Hopscotch. Yeah, set this up locally to start. And if it goes well, I can move it onto my server and then maybe let some other people use it. So I need an M file. It's a lot of environment variables. And then I need to run the containers. Why don't they just give a compose file? Why do they have Docker commands? This is probably too much work to set this up when I could just do HTTP calls from command line, but it's fine. Once I do it once, I'll have it for the future. And I can use it for my Slime site, for my personal site, and for the Jam site. Okay. Somebody has to have made a compose file for this. Hopscotch Docker compose file. Oh, nice. Preset Docker compose file. And then they even have the Postgres database set up. Nice. Note, please update this password. It's not going to be internet facing, so I don't really need to. I just have to edit that so it's not internet facing, because by default it is. Hey, welcome in. Okay, but we got the different Hopscotch parts. I don't know what AIO means, but it's one of the parts that isn't front end or back end. Oh, the service spins up all three services at once in one container. Okay. Game template? Yeah, well, this isn't the template currently. I'm setting up a system right now so that I can do HTTP requests easily instead of needing to do that from terminal. But I just built up a game leaderboard system, or an API for a game leaderboard system, and I was going to start setting up the testing so I can test that out with some calls and then do the routes so I can start storing things. Yeah, I'm trying to get a leaderboard system up before Dev or Die so that I can actually do a score system in it. But I want to copy this Docker compose file. Go to terminal. So over here, I go fully out to Git. I do make dir, hopscotch, code compose.yml, copy in this. I want to edit all these to not be public. To do that, I can set them on to be localhost. There we go. And then I can start it up. Docker compose up -d. System cannot find the file specified. Oh, because I don't have an environment file. Do I really need an environment file? What's looking for it? Oh, this is. Okay, fair. I thought that's something you would put into the Docker Compose, but having a separate one is fine. I just need to get the example for that. Copy this. Code.env. Paste this in. Did they put the database in 5432? They did. I don't think I have anything on that port right now, so it should be fine. Get the image. System cannot find the file specified. Hopscotch/packages. Load build definition from prod.docker file. What happened now? Prod.docker file. Do I have another file I have to bring in? This? Code prod.docker file. Paste. Error reading preface from client. File has already been closed. Docker desktop Linux engine. Is something going on here? No, it's not even running. Cancel load build definition product Docker file. The system cannot find the file specified. It's right there. Yeah, it's right here. Why can I not find it? Cat compose. They really do not set this up very well. Okay, so they have Docker files for all the different parts. Do I need to build it? Docker compose build. Nope. Why are they just not do a regular compose file? Okay, I might get annoyed at this in a sec and then just resort to doing terminal commands. Do they have actual docs for the compose file? What's this? This is not to be used for personal deployments. Okay, so that's for testing. Why don't I just do my own compose file, because I don't like this compose file. So I can move the compose file to be old compose.yml. Do a new compose.yml. What containers do they want me to start up? Well, I guess I need a database. To do that, I can copy what I did here. Get a Postgres database with some password. I'll just call this HTTP, and then I guess I'm gonna call this Frog. Because it's the name of the software is Hopscotch, and then Frog's Hop. So why not? PG Komai, thanks for the raid. How you doing? Currently working on the leaderboard system. I'm trying to get a system up where I can do HTTP calls easily, so that I can test out my leaderboard. May the balls be with you. Nice. Let me shout you out. /shout out. PG Komai. If anybody here is not followed, you're legally obligated to follow. Thank you for the follow. Okay, so I can get the Postgres database set up. I guess before I continue, I can show you what I've got. Yeah, you can see on the left here, I've started setting up the leaderboard system. I'm just doing an Express backend, where people can query for certain routes and then submit scores or get scores. So I can then hook into that for my games. I like the bubble screen click. I can do, that's awesome. Oh, the red dot? Yeah. Eventually that will hook up to actually do something on the stream, but for now it's just I don't know, it's just there. You can click. But yeah, it's an extension I have where you can listen to clicks that people do onto the stream and then do something with that. Some other streamers have set that up to interact with their overlays. I have not had time to do that yet, but I have it there for the future. Makes the starter and me happy. Nice. Using a high score service? No, I'm doing my own. There's no point not to do my own. But yeah. Do scores. Are you in a jam right now? Not yet. On the weekend, I will technically be in a jam. I guess it is technically a jam. Yeah. But on the weekend, there's something called Dev or Die, where you have to make a game in 12 hours on stream. So I'll be doing a couple of streams on the weekend doing that. Doing my first stream that ends on the 30th. Nice. theme grave digging. That's an interesting theme. I guess that matches the season because of October. But yeah, is there promo materials for Dev or Die? There has to be, right? Dev or Die. 3. Okay, it doesn't have great SEO. I'm sure I can find something in Discord though. Let me get that real quick. Or Dev or Die. Announcements. Open in browser. There we go. But yeah, this is the event I'm participating in. The zombies coming at you, and when you dig the first grave, you get a sword. When you kill zombies with sword, it creates more gravestones to dig and get upgrades or effects such as explosion, freeze, and such. So you dig graves to get sword. So you dig graves to get items, and then you kill enemies to get more graves. Nice. Yeah. It works pretty well as a loop. Grave maxing. Maximizing the grave robbing. But yeah, there's 4 competitors. There's Timbo Day, which is probably the largest streamer out of the 4 competing. And there's me, there's James B. Barrow, and there's Ayunema. All 4 of us are going to be making a game in 12 hours. There's going to be split into 2 6-hour streams. The first 6-hour stream will be on Saturday. The second one will be on Sunday. And at the end, it's going to be shown to the judges, which are Falanir and Irish John Games. And they're going to vote on which ones they like the most. And then there's also going to be an audience vote to see which game the audience likes the most. Trying to figure out how to code my slider right now in Unity. Nice. But yeah. While it's going on, there's going to be votes for things we're forced to add into the game. So people in chat can vote on things that I'm going to be forced to have in the game every hour. So it's going to be maybe around like 10 votes. Yeah. Because it's 12 hours and because of all the votes, you really can't get much scope done. But you can get something out. Let me try and vote. Alright. Yeah, the last game I made for it, I can pull that up real quick to show what I made. I actually liked the game I made last time. I didn't win, I got second. But it was good. Here it is. Last Ever Die was the one I participated in, and I made this for it. However, you just want to hear what they added, unless you start 010, 011. Yeah. But yeah, the voting will happen every hour while the event's going on. But yeah, I can start this, and then collect balloons to increase my size, and then if I hit an obstacle, it decreases my size. This is what I made last time. It's very simple, because it's just bouncing off of walls. I had to figure out another simple scope thing to do that isn't this, because I want to do something different. And then once you get small enough, you die. Scary spikes, yeah. My high score in this is probably 400 around. But you can get to very high scores if you want to optimize things. Because you can get very big and then duplicate yourself at that size to get a bunch of large birds. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. What time is 3 p.m. CEST? 3 p.m. CST to EST. What? It's happening at 9 a.m.? Okay. Why is it happening earlier this time? I honestly didn't know it was gonna happen at 9 a.m. I guess what time is it right now? 8:48. I might have to end the stream a bit earlier today than my usual time, because I'm gonna have to get some sleep. I can still go for a bit longer though. And that goes to 9 p.m., which is going to be 3 p.m. ET. But yeah, for context on when this is 10 hours earlier than my usual start time. Because I usually start my streams at 7 p.m. ET. I might not be able to get the leaderboard system done by then. I guess I could start the system to have it ready for the next jam when that happens, like Brackies or something. Yeah, I'll give up on testing the routes for now. I'll just do the routes and then hope they function. If not, I can just not implement the system. But basically, for the score, I'm going to want to do a post. The post is going to add the score to the database. I'm going to do comment here. And then there's going to be a get to get the score from an ID. Oh, so you're on the leaderboard server then? Yeah. I have a server. Well, I have two servers. I have one I rent out and one I don't rent out. And I use each one for different things. This one's going to be on one of those servers. But yeah, I have my site and stuff hosted on the servers. Eventually, once I get my site up again, which I've been slowly doing progress on it, but it's, oh yeah, I don't think it's up right now, so I can't show it off. But I've been working on improving my personal site, and then hopefully getting it up again soon, so that the domain isn't saying under construction. Okay, so I want to get the ID. I think to do that, I need to do const user ID and well, I guess I need name. User slug. I guess username. And game mode slug equals rec.query. Looking at happy diving? Alright. So this is going to get a username and a game mode. And I'm going to have to look that up using Prisma. I can check to see what I did for my... I might as well just add it to the workspace. Jam Jamcore. Routes. User. Okay, I did new Prisma client. Prisma dot and I want to get a score. I'm going to want to find the highest score for the user. So it's not going to be unique because there's going to be multiple scores that match it. It's not going to be first. I guess it could be first if I order it. So it's going to have args. Where, if I look at my database in the score table, there's a user ID column and a game mode ID column. I don't have a game mode ID, I have a game mode slug, which I guess it doesn't exist as a value right now, but I'm gonna add it in. So I can do game mode here. Slug is equal to game mode slug, which is going to throw an error because this doesn't exist yet in game mode. Over here, I can do user name is user name. This also throws an error. Right, because it could be an array of strings. Instead of that though, I'm going to do username string, game mode slug string. Does that not work? Parse queues to type that, maybe a mistake because neither type sufficiently overlaps with the other. There we go, issue fixed. There's no way this isn't going to return strings. Oh, I guess I'm going to have to do lowercase string. There we go. Does that fix the issue before? Oh, it does. Okay. Slug does not exist, so I'm going to have to add that in. To do that, I have to go to the schema. In here, I'm going to do name string should I do name? I'll do slug. And then slug for user as well. Over for game mode, I'm going to want to give it a slug. And then that should be good. I do new instance in scores. This would be do I have a command? Oh, I do. Here we go. npx prisma migrate dev name is going to be add slugs. For context for people for what a slug is, in case anybody doesn't know, a slug is basically just a human readable ID. So it usually is just lowercase form of a word that can be used in URLs and stuff. Without a default value. Oh. So I can't add the slug columns because it has data already. How am I going to do that then? Because I want to add in the columns, but I don't want to make them have default values. I'll also just update that later. Time to consult the AI. So this is your options, add a temporary default value. After migrating, update these fields as needed, then remove the default value. Optional temporarily. Okay. So basically, is do workarounds or manually run Postgres commands. I'll do making it temporary. Slug here, slug here, slug here. Run this. So then it'll migrate, it'll create the columns in the database. Then I can update it, and then I could do another migration. Refresh. There we go. Slug will, for game 1 will be test. This would be main. For user, Brainoid, Adagon, dummy. Okay, and then I can make this not optional. Do another migration. Make slugs required. And then it will run this and hopefully work. There we go. It's been updated to match. And this no longer throws an error. Const score equals await that. I need to make this an async function. And then res.send score. So now I rerun this. If I go to the site, localhost 3014, it gives me cannot get root, which makes sense. I can do slash API slash v1 slash score. Okay. And then it gave me a score. But I didn't give it a game mode slug or username, so why did it give me a score? Okay, theoretically, if I give it the arguments, username equals Adagon, and game mode slug equals main. That errors out. What is a 304? The cat 304. Not modified. I have no idea what that means. Error 304. When the requested resource has not been modified since the last time it was loaded and there's no need to transfer it again. Okay. So, what if I hard refresh? Response? No response data available. So it didn't find anything then? Console.log score. If I refresh this. Reload. It gets null. What if I console.log username and game mode slug? And refresh this. Adagon main, and it gives me null. Okay. Find many. Is because I didn't format this correctly? Let me ask. Is there issues with this? Thanks for the follow. If you game mode and user relations within Score, your query should look like this. However, if game mode or user relation names, ensure they are correctly defined in your Prisma schema. Okay. So that is what I set up. Yeah. So this should work, I'm assuming. I'm not sure why it's showing me that. If I swap this real quick to be game mode ID is equal to 1. I'm assuming it's game mode ID 1? Yeah. And then I refresh the page. I still get null. If I quickly swap this to be user ID is 1 and refresh the page, that also gives me null. Now that's an issue, because that should at least give me these two. And I did a similar thing for this one. This is returning null. Do I have to do anything with their client? No, I just called it. Okay. Usually means either no match records exist in the database or the game mode ID and user ID not correctly set or associated in the score table. Did I call them something else? That's what they're called in the schema. If I do ID one, is that going to give me something? Oh wait, I just realized I didn't recompile after changing this, did I? So I recompile and then run it. Okay, yeah, it's because it didn't compile. That would cause issues. Oh, 10 push-ups? Okay. I'll do those in a sec. So now that I know that it's actually returning values, I'm going to change this back to name username and see if I get something. I get an empty array. That's better than null, but it's also not what I should be getting. Oh, because this should be slug. Congrats on the cat slime. Okay, and I get the result. Good. And now game mode. And then I terminate, I run, I refresh. And I get the results. Okay, so it's working now. I can get the scores of a person and from a game mode. Nice. Okay. I still do this push-ups now. I had to do 10. So let me turn off background removal. Is the floor clean? Mostly. Okay. Okay, it's 5 of them. Turn it on. Alright. Yeah. What time is it? It is 9:11. Okay. I might call it here for this stream, just because I have to get up early tomorrow. But I'll be doing a stream tomorrow at 9 AM my time. So that's going to be in almost 12 hours exactly. And I'll find somebody to raid out to for now. Has the Lumdari ratings period ended yet? Nope. Should I respond to this guy? Ratings need to be manually closed. Usually that means they stay open a lot longer than the timer says. But yeah, there was a timer that said ratings were going to end at a certain time, and then it just never ended, because that's usually what happens in LD. Because For some reason, it's not an automatic system. It has to be manually done. Yeah, we get the Loom Diary results tomorrow. Okay, who's live? Practical is live, but playing Resident Evil. Hypnotic is live. Whitechapel is live. Jitspo is live. Symbol is live. Oh, we can raid into Symbol. Who else? Symbol is currently working on a game for the Spooky Jam. Oh, for the Solo Dev Game Jam 5. Okay, yeah. That's the one Practical's hosting. But yeah, we can raid in. Slash raid. That's what I'm doing too? Oh, nice. Is there a tag for it? Oh, not tagged for anything. Okay. I was gonna see if there's anybody else streaming as well. Slash raid, symbol 24. Okay. For people who are subbed, you have the sub chicken right here. For people who are not subbed, you have the Unicode chicken. We're going to give Symbol a bunch of chickens. I see you hopefully in 12 hours for Dev or Die. I'm assuming some people might be asleep for that. Most people probably will be asleep for that, to be honest. Usually I would be. But yeah, I'll be doing Dev or Die on the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. It'll be 2 6-hour streams. So I'll be going for 6 hours both days. And hopefully we'll have a game by the time that ends. Alright, I'll see you all later. See ya.